What's up, folks? HitPointsGaming here with our 7th podcast. Corey is out sick today, so it's gonna be me and Chris. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing yourself?
I am doing just fine. And today we're gonna be talking about streaming and kind of its impact on the average gaming community. You know, maybe some likes, dislikes, why we think it got so big. But first, as always, we're gonna start by talking about what we've been into. And for me, it has been Echo Arena on the Oculus Rift. And to explain a little bit about it, it's kind of like Rocket League in soccer, but you use a disc, like Discs of Tron, and you're trying to get the disc in the other person's goal, but the entire game is 0G. So the way you kind of move around the arena, which is just like a giant tube with a bunch of obstacles, is you have to grab things and throw yourself off, and then you can use wrist thrusters to kind of like move a little bit to kind of angle yourself towards things. And it is the most fun game ever. I've already knocked everything off one of my shelves.
Oh, so you're actually like your hands are like almost like swimming. Like I see they watch the video. It's like you're reaching out, grabbing something, and pulling it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
those wrist things that has no like. You're not really propelling yourself with the wrist things. Those are just to kind of push you a little bit.
Yeah, you can move a tiny bit with those, and then there's like a boost where you like boom, but that's usually after you get going.
Okay.
And then you can also grab onto people and throw yourself off them, kind of like what do you call it in racing? The draft, right? Is it like the?
Yeah.
I think it's called something like
drifting or drafting.
No, yeah, drafting. So say for instance, you know, there's an opponent who's going after the disc, right?
Okay.
If you grab him and throw yourself off of him, then now you shoot ahead in front. So
but do you pull him back? Do
no.
you have any physics with him? Oh, okay.
Mm-mm. So you go like way faster though, and that's like a major advantage. You can grab people and punch them, and if you guard a punch, they get stunned instead of you. So there's like actual defense there.
Okay.
It is just like a phenomenal game to play. It's the only game that I play with. There's a grid that you can put in VR so that you know where your boundaries are. It's the only game that I play with the grid because I went to go reach for the disc. And as I went to go reach, I swore I was okay, and just boom, I knocked all this stuff off my shelf. Pictures, there's games, there's Skylanders up there, just knocked it all off. And everybody in the game was just like, what was that? I was like, that was everything on my shelf, hitting the ground. So that's what I've really been up to, is just that. And there's a single player too, which has been kind of slow compared to stuff that I like.
Okay.
It's called Lone Echo. It's cool. Oh, it's easily like the best looking game too. It's like super smooth looking. My computer can barely handle it. Like when I first started playing it, it chugged so hard. I guess my computer got used to it, so it's running a little better. But that's been good. And then I bought a VR game that I'm afraid to play called Left Hand Path. I didn't know it was a horror game. The description said it was inspired by Dark Souls. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? Like whatever, demon enemies. But you start playing and you're just in a pitch black room. And then you cast a spell by doing a Z, and it illuminates the area, and it's not really like horrific. You're just in a storeroom with some barrels, but the light coming from your staff only gives you about 10 feet. And it's all real-time lighting. It looks great. The hand that you have actually looks really crappy, but as you move the light, the shadows move accordingly around all the stuff. And it's just the creepiest thing to be walking. And I'm a total scaredy cat in games. I have no problem admitting that. I don't play horror stuff alone. I tried it. I tried like 3 times. And I couldn't get like 30 feet from the beginning. And you're walking and you can't see anything. You get to a doorway and it's like, I don't want to go in there. It's like a castle kind of doorway arch. And I walk through the doorway and I hear footsteps. And there's a dude right here. And that's the Dark Souls aspect, is they put enemies around corners so that they kind of sneak you. The game isn't jump scare scary. It's just like, it's very creepy. So I killed that guy. I was really proud of myself, and I walk outside and somebody starts whispering in my ear. So I immediately headset off. I'm done. I quit. What have you been up to?
Not anything near as cool as that. I'm still playing Heroes of the Storm, which is, you know, whatever. They have this suns out, guns out thing going on promotion. And other than that, I've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh, PUBG.
PUBG is, oh my goodness.
I knew you guys were going to get into it. I knew it.
I really didn't want to, you know, and a buddy of ours, Kev, picked it up for me and was like, you know, I've been watching it and it looks really fun. Let's try it. And I really didn't think I'd be into it because I'm not really like I'm into shooters and third-person shooters, first-person, whatever, but just kind of wasn't my thing. And now I cannot wait to get home from work every day and get on and play with everyone. There's like the single-player experience, you know, where you can just kind of what it is you're 100 people. It's almost like a Hunger Games.
Okay.
Or Battle Royale, you know, like you have 100 people, you drop out of a plane onto a big map, and the map slowly has like this circle that is trying to force people to a central location. But that circle moves all the time, so it's really cool because you don't exactly know where it's going to be, and it's always moving, and then it stays somewhere, and then a smaller circle will spawn inside that circle. That's not always in the center of that circle. It could be in a corner, a side,
it's
whatever.
Not always. It doesn't.
It's not always the center, right?
Wow. Okay.
So it's really neat because it doesn't allow it. It's hard to set up, you know. So it forces people to move a lot, which is what kind of makes it fun.
That's
and
great.
we've been playing a lot of like four player team, and I think that's where it's so much fun. And even if you don't win, like winning is really hard. They say there's like a 1% chance of winning. You know, and well, I guess there is a 1% chance because there's 100 people, you know, and you, but like you have a 1% win ratio kind of deal, and you know, like the better people are like up to 20%, but it still gets kind of difficult, but it's still fun. Like even if we lose, and when we lose, it's still fun. Of oh man, it was such a good run, you know, and you're searching buildings to find weapons and items, and it's in early access, but the game feels so good. There's so many good things inside of it.
Okay.
Like when you turn a corner, there's a red reticle will come up to show you that, hey, your gun will not shoot where you think it's going to. You're going to hit this wall.
Okay. And you know what's funny is? They got that from SOCOM back in the day.
And it works.
Yeah, SOCOM was third person, and if you were like trying to shoot over cover or whatever, there would be a thing. Be like, no, you're not going to make it. So I think that's interesting that's there.
They don't even have that. Like, last Battlefield game I played didn't have that. You know, you end up shooting a wall, and you're wondering why.
Yeah.
You know, something so small, but it's just so good, and it's just really well done.
Interesting.
You know? It's a game I did not think I was going to play, but I'm really enjoying it so much.
Corey actually told me last time I was at his place, like, yeah, we've been playing PUBG, and I was like, I knew you guys were going to get into it at some point. Like, it was guaranteed that you guys were going to play it. And it looks fun. And I was hoping it was going to be on the Steam sale, just like Dark Souls 1. For some reason, it's not on the Steam sale. But I want to get it. It's just like, man, $30.
Well, Green Man Gaming's been having some sales for like $20. I think it's $22 right now. It's not a great savings, but it is a savings. You know,
that's a third. You know,
dude, there's over 5 million copies of this game sold. It's not even released yet.
Jeez.
You know, like it's still in like what is that, beta or whatever. You know?
Yeah, but that team always does that, right? That team is always just putting stuff in.
It's so good.
Beta. Yeah.
Yeah, like why not? You know, I mean, it helps the developers to make a better game because they have some money to, you know, make things better.
Mm-hmm.
The game will crash maybe not that often at all. You know, like, it's so good. I really, the gameplay's fun. It's just and I don't want to say it's a good game, but it really is a very good game. There's a lot of things and concepts to it. It really has to have 5 million
to be this popular. So even if it was to our I don't even know how to say this really, like our mature standard of a good game, right? Even if that was crappy, but it was really fun, it's a good game.
Yes.
It's good. That's just kind of how it goes. And also like cross-genre reviews, like I would never say that Madden's a bad game because I don't like it.
Right.
You have to be able to judge things without having your own opinion, and it looks fun. It looks fun.
It is so much.
You'll probably have 3 more players because Matt just got a computer.
Okay.
Jake wants to get it real bad and is waiting for me. So once I get it, we'll have even more people to jump on and play with.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
It's cool because it's kind of sucks though. It's 4 players in a team, up to 4 players in a team.
Right.
You know, so like we could queue at the same time, and queues are so fast. Like I said, there's like 5 million people. You know, you're not waiting long at all. You're waiting for the game to pretty much load the lobby. And that's the longest part. You know, and so like I don't know if we'd be able to play like 8. It would be sweet if we could get in the same lobby. Don't get me wrong, it'd be great. But
yeah, but even so, you know, to have an extra player in the pool for when certain people aren't online.
Yes, it happens all the time.
Be huge.
Yes.
So, going into streaming, I know you said you watched a lot of PUBG, or Kev did anyway, and that's one game right now that is really, really popular.
Yeah.
And whether it's streaming or there's a ton of YouTube clips and people make montages. And I remember even recently I saw a guy on like a motorcycle come flying into the camera and hopped off his motorcycle and blew somebody away through the window.
Yes.
Right. So that's I find it really interesting that streaming over the past couple of years, what must have been like 4 or 5 years, has gotten to be gigantic.
Billions of dollars.
Billions. And I don't know necessarily why. I mean, I guess the way that I would say it got huge is just because it became so accessible to do.
Okay.
In the beginning, for me personally, I streamed on Justin.tv, right?
Yep.
And I had a super poverty setup with my laptop, and I had to use all these programs to do all these things that I no longer need to do. Like now when I stream or record, I open up XSplit and I click a button.
Right.
And whatever I have in this window is online. Before I had to set all types of stuff up, and it was a painful process. And back then they really limited people's bandwidth as well. So I have all that stuff archived. Everything I've ever mostly everything I've ever done back then is archived, and I go back and look at it, and it looks like, you know, an AOL video from 1995. But now with anyone, it being so optimized, even if your PC's not great, for you to be able to stream at 720p, like depending on your camera that you have. Like I have like a decent camera, you know what I mean? And it looks great. Anybody can do it. It looks great. How do you like what do you feel made streaming like just come into the limelight?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really know. If you look at, like you said, if you look at the history, it started with Justin TV, and it was more of like, you know, Big Brother. You know, people are watching people live or, you know, do whatever. Cool. And then it kind of went into, you know, it kind of went into like gaming a little bit. And then Twitch was born from that, you know. And I got
automatically just moved to something called Twitch. I'm like, what did they do to me? I'm like, what did they do at the time? Which I thought was so weird.
I really don't know how or why it is where it is right now.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you think of, it's really cool to watch people play games, and that's something I would love to have on TV. I'll never watch it, but like personally, I'll never watch it. But I would love to see gaming at the level of, you know, I'm going to turn on NBC and, you know, there's some kind of tournament going on.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the future I would love to see, because it's something I love.
We're moving there, because Street Fighter was on ESPN. For even and Disney XD had it too.
Oh really?
Disney XD had Street Fighter and Smash. We're getting over time. Dude, video games will never be like, it's very popular now, or chic.
Right.
It will never be like as cool as sports in a public limelight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have the argument all the time, and this goes right along with streaming. I was talking to a guy where he's like, he's like, I don't get it. My son just goes on the computer and watches someone else play games, and he thinks it's hysterical. And I'm like, well, you've been watching other people play sports your entire life.
Right.
Isn't that the same thing? And he's like, no. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, does your son play video games? He's like, yes. And I'm like, when's the last time you played a game of football? He's like, I don't know, college. And I'm like, exactly. So your son's watching someone else do something that he loves and can get behind, because he
every day he's doing it.
Every day he does this. So he's watching someone else do it, but you're watching people play football and you don't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he couldn't wrap his head around it. And it's like it's the same thing. It really is.
Yes. To some degree, I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess in the video game thing, it's very unrealistic. Even if you make a game very realistic, it's still unrealistic. It's not you. It's not a person running into a house and clearing a building with enemies inside of it, or doing 14 backflips and catching a football.
Right.
It's not the same thing, but it totally is.
It is. Yeah. Like and to compare it to like running in a house and clearing it out, a TV show is the same thing, where you're watching a player do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's such a weird balance, and pop culture in that regard. Like I said, video games will never be the cool thing. It's cooler now than it ever was.
Yes.
It's cooler now. You don't get shunned as much. Everybody plays video games some way or another, but it'll never be as socially acceptable as in a room full of people who are talking about the NFL versus Evo.
Right. Yeah, like I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and we had like lunch, and they had a Counter-Strike Go tournament on one of the TVs.
No way.
Now it's part of Buffalo Wild Wings thing. Like you're supposed to be able to go there and watch Counter-Strike Go tournaments.
Are you?
Now I'm going to tell you
that's for real.
That's part of their company.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was the smallest TV in the worst corner of the restaurant, but they still had it. And I don't know if anyone... Yeah, it was there, dang it. But I don't know if anyone was there to watch it. Like, I was kind of looking around because I was like, whoa, that's here. And then I had to, look it up and see, oh, yeah, it's part of... I don't know if they're a sponsor or what, but it's part of, their business motto to have this. So I didn't see anyone watching it, but everyone else is watching, the sport, football or hockey or PGA,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ever go out. I mean... I played League of Legends for a while. I played that for a couple of years, and Corey still plays with a bunch of our other friends. And we would get together and watch the World Tournaments.
Okay.
Now, I never saw me going out to a bar and watching the League of Legends World Tournament.
Right.
Worlds. Now, is there something wrong with that? I don't think so. But I just never see I just don't see myself doing that. I don't know. And it's not from the safety of my home or anything. I just feel if I go out, I'm not going to want to watch a League of Legends or, tournament.
It's funny you say that. That Buffalo Wild Wings had that, and this is just slightly off topic, but they won't do wrestling. I swear, yeah, people have petitioned for them to get, even just WrestleMania. They would get so many people in there. But it's just something that they can't really do. But speaking of going out and watching it, if I had, me and the guy that I know who watches Evo as well, or a couple fighting game guys, if we could go out to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch Evo, Smash, I know me and Matt would go watch Smash for sure. The only reason it's funny, what would be holding me back more or less is the fact that there's 5 different Evo streams and one main one, so you don't know, you'd have to go there at a specific time to see, say you watch the top 8s, they go in order throughout the day. You'd be watching top 8, Smash first and then Injustice, so you'd have to kind of time it depending on which one you want to watch. Then again, you'd be out to spending mad money all day, too. I don't drink, but even just food or...
Yeah.
Sodas. But it would still be a cool experience, I think, to go out and watch, the Tekken... I'm not mentioning Street Fighter. The Tekken Grand Finals and stuff in public, in that environment, especially if you had a bunch of people.
Yeah, and the whole thing of watching sports is you're watching with others, you're experiencing it with others, and you feel the crowd and you feed off of that. So even when you go to a bar and watch a hockey game, we're still screaming at the TV. That would be such a cool feeling to go somewhere and have someone yelling at a team online.
Right.
It's weird. Yeah. I can't imagine us ever being there, but I don't think we're far from it, to be honest.
No. I think at some point, don't know when. It may not be necessarily soon. At some point, whether it's a specific game or a game has to get so huge
Right.
so huge in order to do that, and I still think that there's just at our age, 30s, right? There's still a massive amount of people older than us who would like put that right in the ground.
Right. Oh yeah.
Why is this here? Why
Yes.
is this here? But as we get to our 50s and 60s,
Yes.
we become the norm of what is, you know, like what is acceptable kind of socially and what gets looked down upon. And I still think even then it would be a stretch. It'd be less of a stretch, but even then still I think nothing's going to beat sports. Not beat it, but like I don't think they'll ever be like
On the same level.
on the same level at all. So
No. I 100% agree with you. I think it's because of the, like you said, it's an older generation. This is what they're used to. They run the show.
Yeah.
You know, and probably to get CSGO on a television network, it had to be like their grandson or some, you know, quote unquote hip kid. You know, like, oh yeah, the kids are watching this. You know, we should put this on TV. And it was like, all right, let's take a chance. We're making $1 billion a minute anyway. Let's throw a couple million here. You know.
Right.
So I think, like you said, once we get to our 50s, we will be the generation running what's on TV, what's going to be in the newspapers if they even still exist. You know, like
Right.
this is going to be things that we want to watch.
I think that can happen.
Oh yeah,
I think it can happen.
Oh, yeah.
I think especially like the at least the main event every year, the big ones, like Apex for Smash might be on TV. Evo's it's already on TV. It is.
right.
But will it be at a bar?
Yes.
That's different. But I think whenever there's enough money, well, money controls everything. So whenever there ends up being enough money or somebody wants to pay somebody to broadcast it, that's when it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Speaking of
Now,
money, like
Yeah. Go to money. Yeah.
speaking of money, people make quite a bit of money streaming.
This
And
is
they
where I
have
was gonna go.
these-
I can't believe it.
Yeah, they have kind of a scheduled thing, whether it's every day, every couple days, like they come home from work or this is all they do. They're in college and they stream games, and people can make 6 figures by playing video games and having other people watch them. If you're huge, you know, you might run ads. That's what they do at all the tournaments. They run ads, and it's really annoying, but whatever. That's business. Or I think the main way that people make money is through stuff like Patreon. Well, Patreon's newer, but just donations in general. We'll lump it into
Yes.
donations. And I've never watched a stream and been like, I'm gonna give this guy $5. I've
No.
never done that before. I'm watching a stream. Mind you, I don't watch streams often at all. I really do not, ever. If I see like Ricky streaming, you know, HitPointsGaming, Crazy Ricky, I might jump in there for 5 minutes and be like, yo, bro, what's up? All right, man, just wanted to say what's up, peace. Like, for real.
Yes.
Or like, I'll see he's playing something and he's at a part and I'm like, this part's tough. All right, but I'm out. I'm going to play a game.
Right.
But some people dedicate lots of time to just watching people stream, as opposed to, I guess, like watching stuff like TV, because you're interacting, and you're interacting to an extent. If the person is not popular, you are interacting a ton with you being one of 5 people in their stream. But if they have 1,000 viewers, man, that thing is just you're not getting any attention. But people still, bam, $5 for this guy. And I think what that a part of it is those stream layouts with the tickers of all the information. People want to see their has a lot to do with people just wanting to see their name being the last donator. Bam,
Okay.
$5. People want to see I got the biggest donation, and their name will be up there like all week until the next person beats like $50 and puts like 51,
Right.
which is insane to me that somebody would do that. But people support the people that they like. If you really like a streamer, you want him to keep going, you like what he's doing, it's basically like giving him a tip, right? So
Yes.
I would love if people donated to me when I streamed, but that's not why I do it. And I don't stream often,
Right.
like nearly as often as I used to, but it'd be great. But on the other hand, I do it just to share what I'm playing, talk to somebody. I usually stream retro stuff anyway, You know, people pop in, and usually retro heads kind of have a real like mind. So
yeah, you're a community,
right,
you know,
right.
So you kind of look out for each other and such.
Yeah. So, but I like one thing. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It'd be like just a straight girl. She's taking up 50% of the screen, cleavage out, and dudes. I mean, and there's it. I'm gonna say there's a market for it. Dudes are just pouring into this woman's pockets.
Yes.
For existing. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes they're entertaining, you know, but I don't watch many streams, but I'll agree with you on most cases, yes.
Yeah, like they're not good at what they're playing for them. Like I'm not gonna say for the most part because that's very general, but I'm saying in this specific case, and there's a video of it. It's like this girl's playing Street Fighter, and she's saying that she picked like Cammy, and this guy's playing Ryu, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, Ryu is casting a lot of spells on me right now, and I know all Cammy's combos," and she's just mashing buttons and getting wrecked. But during that period, she made like $5,000.
Okay.
That's insane.
Right.
That's insane. And mind you, Twitch actually now cracks down.
They're tight on that stuff. They're real tight on that stuff.
Well, to an extent. I mean, you see it a ton. You know, I bet if you ever seen a dude with his shirt off, he's getting a strike. But I have like there's still all the time low cut as you can be on a girl, or I mean, but like I guess that's like hard to judge, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you showing it off versus? I mean, if a girl's got big boobs, she's got big boobs.
Right, and it's not fair to say you can't wear this shirt because why can't I can wear any shirt I want. I'm a guy. I don't have you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of it's like that fine line of are you doing it for your personality for streaming? You know, it's working a market. Which is fine because it's a business, and at that point it's a business, and you have to, sex sells.
Yeah.
But or are you just doing it because I like this blouse and I'm wearing it?
Right. And I think either way is actually fine.
If
people want to pour into that, it's just like
Absolutely.
any other cam website that you could go to. Although now she's playing a video game,
right?
That's what you want to see. They actually
absolutely
used to have ads on G4 back when G4 was a thing, where you would pay girls to play video games with you. I don't know if you remember that. You used to pay girls by the hour. They used to advertise it on TV.
Yes.
On TV.
I signed up to be a male player.
Are you for real?
I never got any jobs.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's great.
I saw a market there, some kind of revenue stream coming in. I applied and no one ever hired me.
That's great that you applied for that.
Well, you could. They didn't say you couldn't.
Right.
There was a lot of guys on there, and there wasn't that many females, and I never got a job.
That's awesome.
It's horrible.
So how do you feel like the money affects where streaming is now?
It's crazy because I wanted to say this before. It's almost like, are you donating because why are you donating? And when I was a kid, I pirated every video game I could because I didn't have the money.
Right.
Like we bought it for console, but on PC you just pirate it. Now that I'm an adult, I have an income that I can spend, and that people earn their money by making games, and I want them to keep making games, so I pay them for their work.
Right.
And I'm 100%. That's how it is. And that's how it should be. But with streaming, I feel it's kind of the same. Like you provide me a service, an entertainment service. Yep. I pay my cable bill because they give me television or internet. You provide me content and I like it, so maybe I'll donate to you. But I work too damn hard for my money. I ain't giving it to you for that.
Right.
Like, or maybe I'm just not at the level that I understand why I'm giving you money.
Okay.
Or I see everyone else giving you money. You don't need my $3.
Yeah.
No, and they make a ton of money, and I personally don't understand how they do it, but I can see why. Some of these bigger streamers are huge, and they provide a show, really entertaining show.
Right.
And that's why people, I guess, people donate to them or subscribe to them.
Which I think now Patreon being like a monthly, like say you donate $1 a month, that's a perfect way.
Oh, totally. And you're going to forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they, like I've been doing some research. A lot of streamers would prefer you to be a subscriber or part of their Patreon, they don't want you to tip them or to donate. I mean, obviously they do, but they would rather you subscribe or something, because you're going to forget that you're subscribed.
Right.
And you're going to just keep getting that recurring balance. Now, you start at 50-50 on Twitch. So it's, 250 goes to you, 250 goes to Twitch. And then you can later on get a contract that you can go, 60-40 or even 70-30, I heard.
Okay.
So you're making more of that $5 that people, and they want you just to sign up for it because you're going to forget about probably.
Right. Now, I guess you can attribute it to, there's like two main kind of people that are going to make money on something like Twitch. You have guys who are part of teams who stream because they have to. That's one thing that I found out was, if you're a part of a Street Fighter sponsorship, they want you to stream this many hours a week, right?
Okay.
And a lot of times there's incentives to donations, which, some that I don't necessarily think are great, but like, I will play a set with you, if you donate so much money, or I will analyze your matches, stuff like that.
That's cool. That's useful.
That all goes towards like a team. Like that goes towards your sponsorship. That's how they're making their money. They're paying you. They're sending you across the globe to play, is by this money that you are getting, and that's why they want you to stream a certain amount of hours. But then there's the the classic PewDiePie type of guy, who, mind you, PewDiePie's YouTube, I don't think he does any streaming. I'm not sure.
I don't think he does any. Yeah.
But it's the same thing where somebody is wacky, funny, outlandish, and people like to see that while they play, and they might even just port that right over to YouTube.
Right.
And I, for one, regardless of the controversy of some of his content, I am so happy, and I think PewDiePie is brilliant. I think that what he did for, like, his revenue stream is leagues beyond most everyone else, right?
Yes.
And everybody wants to be him. There's already, like Markiplier is a PewDiePie clone. I'm sure he makes a decent amount of money too. Guy like, I think the other one's Jacksepticeye. He's like the third that everyone loves. It's the whole just kind of, as soon as the video starts, hey, I'm this person, and we're gonna do this thing today, and it's gonna be awesome, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna play this game, and they just go insane. Clearly they've played the game before, but they sell it like they haven't.
Right.
And it's funny, and people like it. And that's all ad revenue mostly. Mostly that's like way less than tips, but that kind of person on Twitch would get the same response if somebody found him. You know what I mean?
I think so.
The same response.
It's just harder to be like that live, and I think that's why, like you're saying, it's easier to cut and edit a video and put it on YouTube as opposed to being this wacky, zany, wacky-wheeling, inflatable arm 2-man, on Twitch streaming.
Right, and those videos are cut like crazy.
Oh yeah.
But on Twitch, you don't have as much room. Like you're not going to keep that up.
Right. Yeah, and I don't watch a lot of streams because I just don't get it. I personally don't get why you would watch it besides a few points. But the few I have watched, it's 90% of people just sitting there and playing a game and saying, "Oh yeah, I got that guy," or like no animation, no nothing, no movement, just "Oh yeah, I told him what to do," and it's really it. It's not fun. It's not fun to me. Sorry.
I told him what to do.
Like, "Oh yeah, I told you what to do. Get over there. I killed you." And there's that's not really cool. Or like I do a lot of people. I follow a lot of people on Twitter. You'll get a 12-second clip of their 8-hour play fest. They'll have an 8-second, 12-second clip that's the highlight of it, and
right.
I watched that 12 seconds, and that means I watched the whole 8 hours because that was the best part.
That was the best part.
Yeah, I don't understand the appeal of watching other people play games. Now, I do to an extent, as in if I'm over your house and we're taking turns back and forth playing Ninja Gaiden or a new Super Mario game or something like that. We're playing back and forth. We're having fun. We're couch playing together,
Right.
And that's a different environment. Or even when we do a marathon, we do like the charity event.
Yeah.
Sitting around watching someone else play a challenging game or just a game in general, we're all just kind of BSing together and having a good time. That's one fun way. But it's, I guess, because the interaction is there. Like you said, if I watch someone who's got, a million subscribers, we're never going to interact with them. That chat log goes too fast. I lose that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I I don't see the appeal in watching someone else play a game on the computer when I can be on the computer playing a game myself.
Well, that goes back to you could be also playing football instead of watching someone play football.
Right. Very true.
You know, it goes back to that, I think. For me, it's just... And... So, like, when I stream, like, you see me, and I make it clear the guy who's playing.
Right.
So when he pops in the chat, I do my best. And it's tough, too, because my... Like, say I'm playing an old school game I don't like to emulate. I have a big TV right here. My monitor's a little bit off to the side. I even try to turn my monitor to make sure that I catch it. I'll zoom my monitor in onto the chat screen so it pops in my... Like, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it because if somebody says something, I don't want to leave them hanging.
Right.
And it's fun. You know, I've had fun conversations with people while I'm playing weird games. Like, there's a game called Dragon View, which is the sequel to Draken. It's an RPG, real-time combat, but the overworld is like SNES Doom almost, like first person. And somebody jumped in and they're like, hey man, this game looks awesome. And then we start talking about it and a couple different things. And then we start talking about like random things about like life and talk about buying a house versus renting, stuff like that. And
right.
Those are the kind of things that I think is cool. It's just like, yeah, this person is literally where it's almost like a hangout. You almost wish that somebody could almost like Skype in and talk to you.
Yes.
Which I know you can do that kind of stuff, but I don't know how it works.
There's some anonymity to the fact that you're never going to probably talk to this guy again, or you may, but you may not. But
right.
That's why you're kind of, you know, I would never Skype anyone. I would never call anyone on the phone, but I will sure talk to you in a game like you're talking about now, you know?
Yeah. I think that's kind of cool. So that's like my stream is usually something like that. I don't put on a show. I'm not a stream actor. I don't understand. That's the thing I don't get is the stream actor. And I guess that goes to entertainment value, but somebody's playing a game that sucks or just doesn't require this much energy to play and they're just going insane playing it. Like, oh my god, I guess I could attribute it to somebody playing a game like Road Rash and just going balls to the wall with their energy, like, oh my god, I can't believe it, and screaming and yelling, and oh my god, I felt like that. Like, bro, like, you're not that excited to play this.
Yes.
But that's the entertainment, right? Like, that's what that guy's trying to get is the entertainment side of it, and it totally falls off for me there. Like, nah, man, I'd rather actually just watch you play Road Rash then you become a cartoon while you play Road Rash, I guess. But that's me. Yeah. That's me.
I mean, I like watching some people, like, I enjoy watching you, or not because I know you, but someone who's good at a game. That part is enjoyable, to watch someone who's very good at a game and see what they're doing, how they play, and, you know, how they interact with the other, not the other people in the chat, but the other character on the screen. You know, like, that's fun to watch a skilled player play a game. That's to some extent. Yeah, and I'm not going to watch it for hours, but I'll tune in and give you a couple minutes, 10, 15 minutes, because it's like, you know, I respect you, and that's interesting. But it's also entertaining to watch someone who's really bad at a game,
right? But
who is an entertainer, you know, or, you know what, I really do suck at this game, and I know it, but you know what, I'm going to have fun doing it anyway. Like, you know, and that's somewhat fun as well to watch, I guess. I mean, for me, it's kind of fun for a couple minutes, but I'm not going to watch it for 4 hours. No.
And it's interesting that you bring up the you know, the skilled gamer thing too, because it is fun. It is fun to watch some, like, you're watching somebody live blow through Ninja Gaiden.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or Battletoads, stuff like that. And but that also goes to what, like AGDQ, SGDQ.
Yes.
DQ. That stuff sometimes is incredible.
I watch that all day. As I watch, that is the only thing I will watch as much as I can, and live, because it's a very skilled player. And I'm not talking about the guys who glitch. Screw those guys. I don't care about those glitching runs. But, you know, they're playing and they're like, okay, right here, I'm going to jump on this because we found a trick that this block is much faster than going here. You know, like, I'm about at the education. I'm never going to play that game they're playing, and I'm never ever going to be anywhere near their level. But it's interesting to hear, yes, we found this, and this is the best way to do it, or we totally skipped this boss because the boss wastes too much time, you know, or we use the death screen, so we fall and die here, so we can skip backwards. Right. Like, that part's interesting.
Yeah, that stuff to me is insane. It's funny you mentioned glitch plays, because there's a video now of a guy who's playing what's the game where the girl runs across the rooftops? I can't think of it. Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a glitchless playthrough, and the guy is just naming all of the glitches that he's doing. And the guy who's, you know, like, they kind of like always have the moderator person who's playing.
Yeah.
Is calling him out on everything he's doing. Everything. But mind you, they're friends. Come to find out, and they're doing it as a satire of how the entire glitchless playthrough thing is a joke. Because like only 4 glitches you can't use, and the rest of the game you can glitch through as much as you want. So watching somebody glitch through Mario 64 and beat it in 10 minutes, to me, isn't as impressive as somebody speed running Mario 64 legit.
Yes, because as a kid, that's what I did.
Right. But there's also a tremendous amount of skill sometimes in getting to that pixel to get through that wall.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it goes both ways. Really, I do prefer without glitches. I was watching a guy speed run Symphony of the Night, and he was just going through a door and being underneath the level and sliding across to the next room. I'm like, that's not impressive to me. That's not impressive.
Right.
I want to see you go and have to get through the 17 enemies and not get hit.
Yes.
Whether you kill them or not. I want to see you do it. Like, that to me is what I find is to be like amazing to watch. I was watching a guy, AGDQ, doing Super Metroid, and the dude was not glitching, but he was sequence breaking. So he would run into the room like with the shine spark and go at an angle at the right spot to fly upwards in an angle and go between every single platform and get to a spot he wasn't supposed to be at. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah.
Bam, I'm at this door now. I wasn't supposed to be able to get here without the grappling hook, and I would have had to come from a completely different direction. Oh my god, it's like the most amazing thing to me.
Yes, and I think that's entertaining, because for me it's entertainment, it's education, but it also, like SGDQ, AGDQ, only happens twice a year.
And they raise a ton of money for charity.
Oh my goodness, they raise so much money, which is awesome, you know? But it only happens twice a year, so it's not like I'm overwhelmed with all of this content. And yeah, I can go back and watch it at any point, but I don't. You know, I watch it live, and that's it for me. If I don't catch it, I don't catch it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that there's so many streamers out there. It's overwhelming. Who do you watch? And I personally will not watch anyone who I think is selling sex. You know, whether it be a dude or a guy or a girl. I'm not watching you. Sorry. Nope. You could be awesome, but I'm not watching it.
No, I get that too. I usually, if I go to Twitch, I will go down to the bottom of a game that I want to see.
Right.
And go to the guy with the one or no viewers.
Okay.
And be like, "Yo, man, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey." And you're looking for that so much.
You're looking for that community, that touching thing. Yeah.
Right. So it could be like between like 1 and 10 people who are watching somebody play Elite. You know what I mean? And I find that much more enjoyable than going to the guy who's got 1,500 viewers.
Right.
And yeah, it's cool to see what he's doing, especially if he's great at it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no interaction there whatsoever. And I guess that's kind of cool about Twitch, is you can interact with somebody who's playing the game that you want to watch. But if there's a million people watching it, then you're not interacting at all. And I think Twitch is about the interaction for the most part.
Well, I am interacting with that person with 1,500 viewers, because I'm going to subscribe and my name is going to flare across the screen. Or I'm going to give you $5 and now it's going to be like donation from, you know?
Yeah,
that's how you're interacting.
Donation from, and they have a wacky, and then they say your name. But that's why. That's why people donate, Chris. I'm telling you right now.
Right.
People donate for that moment. I think that those people think like, man, everybody who's on this stream, these 1,500 people, just heard my name.
Yes.
And that makes them feel important. You know, this streamer, guy's got 10,000 viewers. This guy said my name. And it's like, I don't care about that. I don't. Don't say it. I don't want anybody to know I'm here.
Okay.
Don't say it. So, I mean, I think that's it, man. I think that it got so huge, and I think that Twitch did actually a really good job, you know, porting that market from Justin.tv and pushing it, because it became super successful. There's a couple different ones now. There's Twitch, everybody knows, right?
Yep.
There is it called Hitbox? Something Box?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Something Box.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, is a streaming service which actually at the time, when they first came out, there wasn't just so many people, so the interaction was even better because there's almost no lag between the person chatting and it popping up on their end. So it was like straight AOL style IM, like I do it, he gets it and responds to it immediately. From there, Microsoft rebranded, what is there? Before it was called Mixer, it was something else.
No idea.
Oh man, it was Beam. So Beam became Mixer now, and Mixer is a big thing where they're trying, now this is interesting, they're trying to make it so certain games are compatible with it, so donations affect the game.
Okay.
Say I'm playing on Mixer and I donate, I'm sure they have currency, like say 1,500 credits. It will spawn this enemy for you to deal with.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
That's pretty cool, and that's an interesting donation, yes, like concept, where you are literally affecting this player's game.
Well, they have games like that where it'll pull from the chat. People can do a hashtag, and you can spawn, a certain enemy or an obstacle for them to overcome.
Yeah.
They do have games like that, but it's interesting, like you said, with the donations.
Right. And that, again, is not something that I would personally do, but it is cool that somebody could do that, especially if it was like something tough.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And the thing about Mixer is too, like on your Xbox dashboard, there's just a button to stream. It's just a button now. You go on there, you click it, you can choose to stream with your camera, with your mic, in the game. And I went back and looked at my recording, even on like the normal setting, and it was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really good quality. So I was impressed with how easy that is, and it's just one of those things of like, now there's so many platforms. Who do you stream with? Yes. Do you not stream with, like, do you stream with Twitch because it's popular? Do you not stream with Twitch because it's so oversaturated?
Yes.
Do you want to jump in on a new one and try to be early and get in with them because now there could be more focus on you?
Right. Yeah, I think Twitch is just too big. It's too big to fail. It's too big. You have to go to Twitch.
Yeah.
There isn't, there is no other option. YouTube is huge, but not with streaming.
Right.
Like they're really pushing that streaming factor, but there's no way to get money out of it. It's harder to get money, so I think Twitch is where you have to go,
Yeah, I think Twitch is the way to do it. And you can, they have a lot of different tools for streamers now, like Streamlab, which is basically a website where you put in all your info and you can get those donation things up there, and you can get donation links on your bio and stuff for people to click and donate that way. That thing has like things you can upload, custom GIFs to pop up, and sound effects when people, and they make it really simple, which I think is important for people.
Oh yeah.
But I think you kind of have to do Twitch. I would love to do Mixer, but I actually don't game on my Xbox as much as I used to. Couple reasons is like the baby with me, like I can't get into something heavy right now.
Yes.
In my living room. I have a 9-month-old who just learned how to crawl, and she's not walking, but she's picking herself up to stand. So I can't dig, like I'm not playing Breath of the Wild now because I can't dig into it. I have to play it and watch her, so I'm playing like Ace Combat. Like I don't care about it, but the game's cool.
Right.
I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 with Matt. It's MMO. You don't need that much attention to it. You just need to make sure you're constantly hitting a guy. Like that's all you're doing. So that's been most of my gaming. And like when I mentioned I was playing stuff on the Rift, that's when my wife has the baby. Like that's my off time. So
right.
I can play some games with the baby. VR is not something you can play with a child. So
you knock her right over.
Make the most of that time.
Yeah.
Streaming in VR is tough with my current rig. That takes a ton of hardware.
Yeah, but that's fun. Like that's one thing I end up watching more of, because I think it's neat to see, wow, this game looks really cool, but what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
You know, and to see you walking around the room and swinging around, that's interesting and kind of sometimes funny. If I would have been able to watch you knock your shelf over, that would have been, funny. But, like, what are you doing to play this game? How are you playing it?
Right, and I think that's going to become a thing too more, as when people start to get used to setups for mixed reality. which is
Yes.
really cool to look at. And I think I could do it, but I'm not about to spend money on an extra set of motion controllers just to do that. Because you basically want one of the setup things, not to go too far, is to tag the controller as a VR object.
Okay.
So that's like something you need to do. But then it's kind of cool because you get to see people like reaching and grabbing things and picking them up in their hand versus you know, me being in the corner of the screen like I'm in there. That's awesome. But that's something that I could see myself watching. But I think I need a little bit stronger of a computer to stream well in VR right now.
Okay.
Because it takes a lot of hardware to do that.
And that's what these streamers are getting, sponsors. Like, they're getting computers.
Yeah, that's,
you know, and
dude, that's
and
what my donation thing is for.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, like I watched the, like, oh yeah, we're going to build this guy's computer. You know, Corsair's building a computer. CyberPower's building a computer. It's like, and they're not building, you know, like my mom's internet surfer. They're building, you know, dual graphics cards,
dual,
you know,
TI Founders Editions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And it's really cool too. I wanted to bring it up earlier, but like the reason I will watch a stream sometimes is to learn about a game.
Okay.
What is this game about, or how does it play? You know, so watching a stream as opposed to watching, you know, a trailer, two different things. Trailer, you're never gonna, you know, or watching, you know, a gameplay trailer, quote unquote. It's
that's not real either usually.
No. So watching a streamer play a game, I can see how they interact, how the game flows, how it works. And they're going to, even if their game crashes, I'm going to know it's really going to crash, you know?
Yeah.
So I will watch a streamer for, you know, 5 minutes to see how a game looks and feels, but that's the extent of it. And I think that's huge because, for one, you know, like one, if you want to be a great streamer, you have to jump on one of these new games.
Right.
You know, like, this is a new game, get really good at it really quick, and then stream, and hopefully you'll do well. Two, you're really good at games, you're a big streamer. Hey, I'm a publisher. Play this game. Here's some money. Play this game on your stream, and everyone's gonna buy it. And that's what I feel.
Here's a free copy of it. Take it, play it, and you know, here's a couple bucks. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I feel that's what happened with PUBG, and that's why I wasn't feeling PUBG for so long, because I was like, this is just some streamer crap. But it worked. Like it really worked for that particular game, and I think it worked for For Honor too. For Honor was being streamed everywhere. There was this huge thing about it. You know, you got to get this game. It's so good. It's so much fun. 3 weeks later, who's playing this game? I would love to watch someone play it. Nobody's playing it.
Right. And For Honor, for me, I mean, it's a different subject. That game was so good, and I played it every single day, and I loved it. But there's just issues they never addressed. The 2 new characters that they introduced were ridiculously dumb. Like, so unbalanced. And then they nerfed one to where no one plays him anymore because he's so bad. And the other one is still dumb. Like, they literally released 2 characters that made the game completely unplayable to an extent. So now, like, I don't play it, man. It's hard. And I can't, like, and again, this goes with the baby. Like, I can't dedicate my time to be an amazing For Honor player like I wanted to. Right. Which I was good. You know what I mean? I play fighting games, so that it comes.
You understand the concepts, yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, For Honor again, it was streamed. It was streamed crazy.
Oh yeah, and there's so many games like the new Ghost Recon, the Wildlands. That was streamed. I wanted that game so bad.
I hope you didn't get
it. A week later, it disappeared. Yeah. You know, I'm so glad I did pick it up, because it disappeared, and you could pick it up now for like $15.
Yeah, because it really wasn't great. It was. You guys would have had fun playing it together without a doubt, but it really isn't a good game. It's not.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing with streaming is you get a bunch of these people streaming, you give them, I don't know, maybe say a couple $1,000, and you got millions of copies sold because these popular streamers are playing it and quote unquote having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and they're making all of their viewers are now, I need this game. This game looks so good.
Yeah. I get to maybe play this game with streamer X7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another aspect. Yeah. Totally.
I'm going to get it so I can play with this guy that I like to watch.
Right.
So that's another huge thing that would sell a game based off of a stream. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's funny. I've had people watch some like old school stuff that they hadn't seen before, like Nosferatu. I mean, like, what game is this? It looks great. Well, it's called Nosferatu, and it plays like plays like Prince of Persia with a little bit more combat focus.
Okay.
Like, there's like a ton of moves to do, but you know, it gets to the point where you're jumping over pits, spikes, a little bit like lots of platforming stuff, and the game looks fantastic. So like Prince of Persia always looked great, and this game even like steps up the bar again. Like the animations are damn near, you know, SNES and mocap. Like that's how good they look. So that's something cool, and somebody maybe discovered a new game because they watched my stream, and I think that's great. The way Twitch is now, it's a little bit tougher to go on there and find somebody streaming something unique, because you're usually looking to, like, the stream list that you see is just all the popular stuff.
Yes.
There's no Twitch Retro. Ooh, I might need to sell that to Twitch. There's no Twitch Retro tab for people to stream stuff, you know, below disc era.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be kind of cool, though, if they had that kind of stuff. If they had like different links for generations, you want to see PS2, Xbox, then you want to see PS3, Xbox 360, you want to go Dreamcast, you know, down the line, or disc based. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I would be into. I would watch more streams going into like a retro thing and seeing people playing like Atari games or whatnot. Be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know if they would do it because I don't know what kind of audience they would have.
Oh, they wouldn't have any. They wouldn't make any.
And they're
money
not going to make any money on it. Yeah.
No, they're not going to make any unless they got a popular streamer, start playing retro games.
Wink, 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 wink.
And be bad at them.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean?
That's you should do this. You should do it.
I think I should market this to.
No, you should be the streamer.
I know that.
These retro games, you should do it.
I'm gonna market myself as soon as
every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
As soon as my baby is content sitting in a pack and play while I play.
Someone just stole this idea from the podcast. They're like, you know what? This market, I'm gonna do it.
I'm not.
You just lost it.
Podcast. That's it.
You just lost it. Yeah, right.
You guys will see this podcast next year.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. You know, like there really isn't much variety on Twitch, and it's a lot of, you know, CS:GO, Destiny, PUBG. You know, it's all these real popular games right now that either developers are paying people to play, or they're playing because they're really popular. You know.
Right, and Destiny 2 is about to take over.
Oh Twitch. Yeah, oh completely. You're going to be learning with that. Like PUBG, you can learn like some tricks and stuff, and I think that's one of the most popular games right now on it. But you're not going to learn how to play, you know. Yeah. Whereas Destiny, you're going to watch it because you want to learn what are the mechanics of this boss or this world, you know.
Yeah. How do I like? So, that's how you could beat that boss, by cheesing him. Stand in this corner.
Right, and that's what's cool about Twitch is, you know, like, I'm having a really difficult time beating this person. How do I do that? Let me go find someone else that's, you know, that can do it. But it's kind of sucky because you're not going to find, you know, like, things aren't all recorded, you know, so you have to kind of search for it. But that's where YouTube comes in more. But I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think all in all, I think streaming is cool, to be honest with you. I think that it's cool that anyone can do it. That you don't. I think it's awesome that it's not exclusive to people. Sure, you're not going to get anybody watching you. Sure, you're not going to make a ton of money. But the fact that it's a platform where anybody can go on there and stream and share their experience with whomever may want to watch, and interact with people in the chat room, I think it's really cool. Yes. I think it's really cool that became a thing. Is it like, what are the odds that you can treat streaming as a business? Slim. You've gotta break in with pretty much every aspect of social media, and YouTube helps. You know, watch my archives on YouTube.
Right.
And you got to be able to do it constantly, especially in the beginning, before you have a set schedule. Like, you got to be able to be on there from 6, even if it's like 4 hours a day. Say you stream, I'm going to stream this game 6 to 10, guys. We're going to be playing, you know, so-and-so or Destiny. And you get to watch this guy progress from the beginning till he's rocking dual gal horns while he's taking down bosses in one shot. Right. You know, that's tough, and there's going to be a ton of competition on a popular game. So even then the odds are so slim because some people are so established.
Yes.
Like a popular CS:GO player could immediately switch to another game and not lose a step.
Right.
Know what I mean? People want to see him play CS:GO still, but now he's playing more Destiny than CS:GO, and some of his fans will drop, and they'll be replaced by people who want to watch Destiny.
Want to watch Destiny? Exactly. Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think in my conclusion of streaming, I think it's a great service. I think that it gets abused to make money sometimes by, I mean, I'm not going to say abuse, but I think that just me being the kind of person that I am and the type of game player that I am, like, it's crazy that somebody can go on there and show boob and make a ton of money.
Right.
But kudos to them for making money off of that market of dudes who will just do it. You know, it's basically like fodder. Like these people will do it. They will throw money at they'll throw money at your boobs because you're playing CS:GO. That's it. So kudos to you. Get money. If that's how you want to do it, fine. I think whatever. But it's just not. That's not for me.
Right.
Not for me.
And there's girls out there who don't do that.
There are.
But there's plenty. Ones who do that.
Yeah, and they do well.
Yeah, and it's the market's there, paid, so yeah.
Whatever. You're getting your rent paid, so you don't. That's it. Well done. And I think it's it's cool for people to be able to make money off video games. A lot of people don't like guys like PewDiePie, where I'm like, hey man, you are doing it right. Clearly,
I don't like him either.
No,
but absolutely, you got to respect the guy and what he's done.
The dude he wasn't even the first to be doing it, but he was the first one to have, just basically taking his mouse and shaking it and screaming and yelling, and people loved it. People thought it was funny, and people, I thought it was legit at first, and there's actually a specific video where I found out that it wasn't. He was playing the game and his camera fell and showed the screen, and he had like a FAQ up. But it is what it is, it's entertaining.
Yes.
And the guy made $4 million by doing YouTube, and it's an incredible amount of work too. It's not easy. Guy does like two videos a day.
No, it is not easy.
2 videos a day, like AVGN back in the day. Ton of work. Guys putting in work, making money, and I think that's awesome. Like PewDiePie made some very questionable decisions with some of the stuff recently, with all the some of the things he was doing. We're not going to go into details.
Things.
Yeah. Some of the political things, and I don't think it was smart. When you got Disney knocking at your door, it's not smart, especially after you already basically had a warning. But it is what it is. The dude also shows like, I'll do what I want, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is another thing that's, you may not be smart from it. Yeah, but I was gonna say it's not smart from a business perspective, but you already made between a couple of years like $15 million. It's like, yo, whatever. Like, why do I care? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. What do you think? Like, as far as like a closing statement about streaming, like, how do you feel about where it's going to?
I think it's cool that it exists. I think, like you said, Twitch makes it really easy for people to stream. You never feel like, oh, I can't do this. No, you can. You just click a button. Get a camera. You don't even need a camera. Just click a button, and you're ready to stream. Anyone can do it. It's easy. It gives you the opportunity to meet people of like-minded, who are going to play the same game you're playing, possibly, or who just want to talk and chat. Maybe join someone else and start making a new friend. Like that's what the internet is kind of about at certain points. It's also about joining a game and yelling and cursing at everyone, but that's one thing. But I think it's really cool that we have this opportunity to stream and watch people stream and interact. Hopefully in the future it's going to be a little more, I don't know, a little more cooler or more mainstream.
Right.
Like we were talking about in the beginning of the cast, but it's interesting. It's really interesting on a business level where it's at, be going.
What I find where it could go is, say you had a team or a network, like somebody creates a network of streamers where it may not necessarily be live, it should be live,
Okay.
But say you have a TV, not channel, but a TV show where during this hour block you may have 4 streamers streaming at 15 minutes a pop.
Okay.
4 different things.
Right.
I'm gonna stream this for 15 minutes, and then Corey's gonna jump on and play this game, and we're gonna stream and talk to the audience. Maybe have people even call in, or have the stream chat up, something like that, on like an offbeat channel where profanity doesn't matter, because that's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Or you could screen calls, stuff like that. It's on a delay. It's on TV, so if anybody did ever start off going nuts, it's so easy to crop it out.
Yep.
But I think that is a potential thing where maybe like a team will start doing something like that. Like, Echo Fox Street Fighter players you're gonna watch them for 15 minutes. You're gonna watch League guys. You're gonna watch Gears guys, and you're gonna watch CS:GO guys. And the show's over, man. Thanks for watching and supporting Echo Fox.
Right.
Damn. I think it could get there.
I think so. I think we're moving that way.
TV channels don't happen anymore, really. I don't know. I don't have cable right now. I just refuse to pay for it. So I don't know even if there is a G4 like channel out there. Is there? Is there like a G4? Do you know?
I don't have cable either, because you know why? Streaming is moving towards cable's moving towards streaming.
Yeah.
You have all these cable cord cutters and stuff. But that's a whole other thing. But we're moving into a streaming world. Everything is being streamed.
Yeah. So G4, was a channel for us, and anybody listening. Then
it was the best channel ever. I love that channel.
They played the same 4 shows over and over, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter because you're watching video games on TV. And then they started showing stuff like cops and cheaters, and then it's just like, all right, clearly they're going under, and then they went under. But if that were to come back, I feel like there would be straight shows of streaming, people streaming games. Yeah. Whether it's montages of people or highlights, or hey, like to think of like a TMZ for video games. Oh man, I was watching this guy play PUBG and he did this thing. Here's the clip. Bam. Right. You know what I mean? And
Tosh.0.
Yeah, like a Tosh.0 for video gamers. That would be.
Yes.
I think that's
pretty cool.
I think that's kind of where it would go to if it ever got to a more socially accepted level.
Yes.
Accepted level. Any other comments, Chris?
No, this is really it. This was actually a really cool one for me.
Yeah, man. I think it was a great conversation, and we don't know what the next subject's going to be, but we do hope that you tune in on Spreaker, the Filling the Void podcast network. Also, we are on iHeartRadio with Filling the Void, youtube.com/HitPointsGaming. Lots of video games, lots of board games. Take it easy, folks.